You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Tuesday the 7th of July, 2026. It is 16 days after the summer solstice. It is 77 days before the autumnal equinox. In today's episode, Fledglings, the first comic book, Traveler's Checks, a new screwdriver, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, and Ringo Starr. Today's forecast, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers in the morning, decreasing over the course of the day. High near 76 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.4 Celsius. Northeast wind around 10 miles per hour. The sun rises today at 5:32 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:30 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 9:02 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:44 p.m. The length of daytime today is 56 seconds, shorter than yesterday. The moon reaches its third quarter today at 3:30 p.m. The moon sets today at 1:11 p.m. and then it rises again after midnight. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 4:07 a.m., 1 meter 40. In the afternoon, low tide, 10:15 a.m., 9 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:37 p.m., 1 meter 58. At night, low tide, 10:54 p.m., 15 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, so many fledgling birds are out and about now. The juvenile robins have just begun to fly. When they first leave the nest, they spend about 3 weeks on the ground, quite vulnerable, without the plumage necessary for flight. Their parents feed them and watch over them through these fraught days. Now they've got their flight feathers, but they still stand out. Their backs are flecked with small white dots, and the signature red breasts are flecked with white and brown. It's striking how many birds have mottled feather patterns when they're young, only sporting their bolder, simpler colors when they are ready to breed. Commemorations. On this day in 1802, what is widely seen as the first comic book in the United States was published in New York City. Entitled The Wasp, it was a biting political takedown of the then president, Thomas Jefferson. It featured cartoons of figures whose dialogue was reproduced inside speech balloons. It landed its creator, Harry Croswell, in court in the case of the people of the state of New York versus Harry Croswell. He won, establishing basic principles of defamation law, which protect political speech involving public figures. Croswell had a long career in print and is actually credited with the first use of the term cocktail. A true American. On this day in 1891, an employee of the American Express Company, Marcellus F. Berry, received 4 copyrights for what he called traveler's checks. Only our older listeners will remember these, but they were the standard for taking money on vacations for more than 100 years. On this day in 1936, Henry Phillips received a patent for a new kind of screwdriver. Ending with a cross-shaped tip, it gave a firmer grip on a screw than the older flat-ended screwdriver. The original design had been created by a certain John P. Thompson, but he sold his rights to Phillips, who improved on the design before taking out the patent, and it would come to be named after him, the Phillips screwdriver. On this day in 1980, after the revolution deposed the Shah, Sharia law was imposed on the people of Iran. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. On this day in 1986, former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind Carter celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary in Chicago, building a home in West Garfield Park with a Habitat for Humanity. The Carters had left the White House just 5 years before, but in their post-presidency period, didn't they set a fine example of public service? Today we wish a happy birthday to Ringo Starr, born this day in 1940. As a Beatle and afterwards, he's been known for his wry, self-deprecating humor. In the movie Hard Day's Night, a reporter asks him, "How do you find America?" Ringo responded, "Turn left at Greenland." But we like this quote about creativity. He once said, "If you're a good musician, you're probably also a good cook. because your senses are open, and that creativity carries over into every part of life. Did you know that in 2023, NASA beamed Ringo Starr's voice wishing peace and love across the universe via the Deep Space Network on his birthday? So happy birthday, Ringo Starr. In the World Cup today, Argentina faces Egypt in Atlanta, and Switzerland faces Colombia in Vancouver. And that is the Observatory, Tuesday the 7th of July, 2026.